Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. When I was younger and asked what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would always say, a princess. Of course, my parents are certainly not a king or queen, so it's safe to say my chances were low. However, as I've grown older, I have also now become aware of the pressures of royal duties. It's certainly far from living in a gorgeous castle and going to fancy balls in a royal carriage. Tonight, my speaker is going to discuss the topic that the royal family is a benefit to society. In recent years, our British royal family has been the centre of news reports for various reasons, and in particular, the King's coronation only last year. So I'm interested to hear our speaker's opinion on tonight's particularly relevant topic. On my right, and our speaker, is Miss Karen Shepherd.
Good evening.
Karen is 22 years old and resides at Jocksthorne Farm in Comores. Karen is currently a third-year student studying economic and social history at Glasgow University. In her spare time, she keeps herself very busy, between working at a local farm cafe as a baker and also lending a hand at her cousin's dairy farm. With Karen's clear interest in history, I have no doubt that she is the perfect speaker to discuss her opinion on our long-standing British monarchy. In fact, it may be a case of getting Karen to stop speaking that is the problem. On my left is our vote of thanks, Miss Emma Shanks.
Good evening.
Who I will introduce more fully later on. Moving back across the royal carriage, I will now pass over to Karen to express her opinion on the topic that the royal family is a benefit to society. Karen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, the British Crown is an institution that has been around for over 1,000 years, from William the Conqueror in 1066. Some may say that it has not progressed much since then, but this is simply not the case. Our monarchy today, under the reigns of Queen Elizabeth II and King Charles III, has progressed significantly, bringing economic, social and cultural benefits to our nation. This is why I'm here today to argue that our monarchy is, in fact, a benefit to our society. One of the biggest changes that has happened for our monarchy over the last few centuries, has been financially. Many people still believe that the royals are wasting the taxpayers' hard-earned money, when in fact this is simply untrue. They are making us money. The profits from the Crown estate go straight into our economy and in fact make your taxes £2.60 cheaper. Even last year, when Charles announced his plans to create a wind farm, the £1 billion profits from this scheme will go straight into public funds. This clearly shows that they have moved with the times and instead of leeching from the Parliament purse strings are now a huge asset to our economy. The royal family have modernised when it comes to the social changes that they have brought along with their charity work. Diana showed everyone that it was okay to touch a victim of HIV/AIDS. Prince Harry has shown us the importance of helping our veterans with his Invictus Games. Kate uses her social media platforms to promote early childhood and early years, and Camilla uses her online book club to promote literacy. Clearly, this is not the work of an outdated institution. They have moved with the times and use social media and TV alongside their social engagements to promote key issues and bring about societal change. The royals have made a difference and touched millions of people's lives, especially our new King Charles III. In 1983, he created the Prince's Trust to help young people set up new businesses and employment. And since then, he has helped over 1 million people through the trust. Closer to home for us, the King has also saved Dumfries House and has now turned it into the largest employer in South Ayrshire out with the council, helping people learn new skills such as textiles, hospitality, dry stain diking and landscaping. This is not the work of a royal living the high life at court like the previous King Charles, but instead it's showing that someone is dedicated to bringing better change to his people. My final point today is that the royal family is a symbol of British society that the modern society does not want to get rid of. This became more evident when Queen Elizabeth died in September 2022. Over 250,000 people queued up, including myself, to see her lie in state and pay their respects to the Queen for her service and duty over the last 70 years. People were waiting overnight, often stating that they would wait as long as it takes to see her. Over 28 million people in the UK watched her funeral. Do you really think this is what a nation would do if they didn't think that the monarchy was a benefit to society? It shows the pride that we have for our royal family and their service as a cultural symbol of the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, the British monarchy is a benefit to our society and is not an archaic institution that we need to abolish. They have changed with the times and remain an important asset. Financially, they bring more money to the economy. Socially, their charity work has helped highlight causes and change people's attitudes. Their schemes have helped improve the lives of millions, and culturally they are still a symbol of our society. Therefore, the royals continue to be a benefit to Britain, and all that is left for me to say is God save the King.
Thank you, Karen. It is evident that you really are an advocate of our monarchy and provided us with some real gems of information. It is clear that you truly believe that the royal family are crucial for our society and they provide benefits to the UK in many different ways. It is now time to bring our question master into proceedings to delve deeper into the heart of our topic. May I remind the question master that all questions must be directed through the chair and that we will remain seated throughout. Question master, may we have our first question, please?
Yes, Madam Chair. Could the hard-earned taxpayers' cash that the royal family takes from the government be put to better use by improving funding to the NHS, or be used for pensioners who will lose their winter pool payments?
Thank you, Question Master. Karen, there are many areas that are underfunded by the government. Could the money that's been used for the royal family be better used elsewhere?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Like I said in my speech, the royal family do in fact make our taxes cheaper, about £2.60 cheaper for every person because of the amount of money that they bring into the economy and straight into the government funds. Because, for example, anytime there's a platinum jubilee or a coronation, all of the profits that's brought in from selling tea towels and teapots, it brought in £6 billion to the economy, which is able to help these underfunded areas such as the NHS and pensioners.
Thank you, Karen. It's clear that they are actually saving us money rather than costing us money. Question Master, can we have another question, please?
Yes, Madam Chair. Karen, the late Queen always said, never complain, never explain. So has the royal family not lost its sense of mystique as a result of all that social media activity that they carry out?
Thank you, Question Master. Karen, the royal family were always known to keep their social lives private. Is this something that social media has made worse?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think the royal family have managed to strike a nice balance between keeping their private life private as well as showing things to the public. For example, the Princess of Wales, Kate, she's been undergoing cancer treatment this year and she's managed to keep the majority of her life and that horrible experience private and has been able to use social media to show the people that she's okay. Just last night she released a new video and that millions of people have seen it and get wishing her well, and it just shows the benefit that social media does have for the royal family.
Thank you, Karen. It's clear that the advantages of them using social media outweighs any disadvantages. Question Master, can we have one final question, please?
Yes, certainly. Madam Chair, Karen, you mentioned Prince Harry. However, he has recently turned his back on the royal way of life. Surely this is not the action of someone who sees the benefits of the royal family. What do you think?
Thank you, Question Master. So Karen, if the royal family is so beneficial, surely Prince Harry wouldn't have stepped down from his duties. What's your thoughts on this?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think it's safe to say Prince Harry's the perfect example. If you live in a palace, you're not immune to family fallouts. But I think what he shows and emulates is despite him not wanting to be part of the royal family anymore, he's still able to use and utilise everything he's learnt from being in it. If you look at the work he's done, especially the Invictus Games, and now that he's left the royal family, he still continues his charity work alongside Meghan and his Archwell Foundation. Just last month they were out in Africa doing more work, so he's still carrying on what we think makes the royal family beneficial.
Thank you, Karen. It's great to hear, although he's stepped down from his duties, that he's still making such a brilliant difference elsewhere in the world. We have now come to the end of our time for questions, and I'll now take this opportunity to introduce our vote of thanks. Emma is 26 years old and resides in Comores. She works as an auditor in a Glasgow-based accountancy firm, and the jewel in the crown of her career so far has been achieving her chartered accountancy status. Given the nature of her job working with various clients, Emma is used to working under pressure and keeping a level head. Her role as an auditor means that her workdays are filled with analysing huge amounts of data. Therefore, Emma is the ideal person to provide an accurate analysis of our discussions as she provides our vote of thanks tonight. Without further ado, Emma.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was asked to propose this evening's vote of thanks, I was delighted that I could have the opportunity to thank Karen for talking. One thing I was sure of, knowing Karen as I do, was that there would not be a shortage of words or an opinion. Karen's chosen topic this evening was that the royal family is a benefit to society. Karen is truly a royalist at heart, as she strongly felt that the monarchy brings nothing but positive contributions to British society. Karen expanded on her topic by explaining her views in relation to the financial advantages that the monarchy brings to us, with Crown Estate's profits pumped straight back into the economy and lowering tax burdens for our citizens. In addition, Karen also highlighted the huge social change brought by the royal family, with senior members using their position of power to highlight the plight of others and to promote important social issues, such as illness, early years learning and unemployment. Finally, Karen further proved her point by noting that the British response to the death of our late monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, shows the respect that the UK has for the monarchy. And clearly, this is a piece of our society that we truly embrace. Continuing down the Royal Mile, it is also my pleasure to thank our question master for her probing and thought-provoking questions, which included whether the money spent on the royal family should be put to better use. Karen responded by stating that the various events provided by the monarchy makes billions of pounds for the economy, which allows the government to fund services such as the NHS. Karen was then questioned on whether she believes that the presence of our royals on social media is a step too far. This allowed Karen to develop her argument further by explaining that regular social media updates gauges more interest and allows social issues to be promoted, such as the Princess of Wales providing updates on her cancer diagnosis and offering support to others. Thank you, Karen, for your honesty and integrity, and I think you will agree that Karen will no doubt be making her next pilgrimage to Buckingham Palace in the near future. May I take this opportunity to thank our chair, Cara, for making us feel at ease whilst keeping us on the right track. Ladies and gentlemen, your support and encouragement are greatly appreciated, and I would like to ask you to express your appreciation to everyone I have mentioned in the usual fashion.
Thank you, Emma. I would just like to endorse everything that Emma has said. We have now come to the end of tonight's proceedings. Our speaker, Karen, has certainly provided plenty of food for thought. After Karen's passionate speech, it's clear the monarchy really is a benefit to our modern day society. However, sadly for me, she has confirmed my suspicions that being royalty is really hard work. They devote their entire life to their roles, which is hugely different from the Disney movie versions that I watched as a child, where Prince Charming would sweep you off your feet and everyone lived happily ever after. And the final nail in the coffin for me was Prince Harry getting engaged, and that my chances of becoming a princess were well and truly shattered. So it's safe to say I'm happy to leave the role of a princess to the experts. Thank you and good evening.